Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Have you ever looked at a simple 10-cent coin and wondered whether it could actually be worth a fortune? Millions of people handle coins every single day without paying much attention to the tiny details hidden in their pockets. Most dimes are spent without a second thought, dropped into vending machines, stored inside jars, or forgotten between couch cushions. Yet the fascinating world of coin collecting has proven time and time again that some coins can become incredibly valuable because of their rarity, condition, historical significance, or unusual minting errors. Today we are taking an incredibly deep dive into one of the most talked about modern coins in circulation, the 2014 D. Roosevelt dime. While millions of these coins were produced, collectors continue searching through rolls of dimes hoping to discover that one extraordinary example that stands far above the rest. Before we begin, it is important to separate fact from fiction. You may have seen eye-catching headlines claiming that a 2014 D dime is worth an unbelievable $199 million. Stories like these spread rapidly across social media and video platforms because they capture people's imagination. The truth is much more interesting than simple clickbait. A regular 2014 D. Roosevelt dime is worth only its face value of 10 cents when circulated. However, coins with exceptional mint errors, perfect preservation, unique characteristics, or extraordinary collector demand can sell for dramatically higher prices than ordinary examples. Throughout this video, we will explain exactly why collectors inspect these coins so carefully, and what features could make one significantly more valuable than another. The Roosevelt dime has an important place in American history. Introduced in 1946, the coin honors President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of the most influential leaders in United States history. Roosevelt guided the nation through the devastating years of the Great Depression and later through World War II. Beyond his presidency, he became closely connected with the March of Dimes campaign, an organization dedicated to fighting polio. Roosevelt himself suffered from the effects of polio, making the decision to feature him on the nation's dime especially meaningful. Since its introduction, generations of Americans have carried Roosevelt's image in their pockets every day, making this one of the longest-running coin designs in modern United States history. Fast forward to the year 2014. The United States Mint continued producing Roosevelt dimes at several mint facilities, including Denver, Colorado. Coins struck at the Denver Mint carry the famous D Mint mark. This tiny letter appears on the obverse of the coin near the date and serves as a simple but important identifier for collectors. The Denver Mint has played a major role in American coin production for more than a century, striking billions of circulating coins that reach banks, businesses, and households across the country. When examining a 2014 D dime, the first thing collectors notice is its elegant portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. The profile displays remarkable detail considering the coin's small size. Roosevelt face is left with carefully sculpted facial features, neatly combed hair, and a confident expression that has become instantly recognizable to generations of Americans. Around the upper edge appears the word liberty, representing one of the nation's core ideals. The national motto, "I in God we trust," is positioned near Roosevelt's chin, while the year 2014 appears beside the portrait. Just above the date sits the small but significant D Mint mark, confirming the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Turning the coin over reveals another beautifully balanced design. At the center stands a torch, symbolizing liberty and enlightenment. To the left of the torch rests an olive branch representing peace. On the right appears an oak branch symbolizing strength, independence, and stability. Together, these three elements communicate powerful values that have remained part of the Roosevelt dime's identity for decades. Encircling the design are the inscriptions "United States of America, one dime," and the national motto "E pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many, one." Even though millions of Americans rarely pause to examine these details, every element carries historical meaning carefully chosen by the coin's designers. The designer responsible for the Roosevelt portrait was John R. Sinek, who served as the chief engraver of the United States Mint. His artistic work continues to circulate across America decades after his lifetime. Sinek succeeded in creating a portrait that balances realism with simplicity, allowing even a small 10-cent coin to communicate dignity and respect. His initials can also be found on the coin, another small detail collectors enjoy identifying during close examination. One of the most frequently asked questions concerns the coin's specifications. The 2014 D. Roosevelt dime weighs exactly 2.268 grams according to official United States Mint standards. This precise weight is extremely important because experienced collectors often use sensitive digital scales to identify unusual coins. If a dime weighs noticeably more or less than expected, it could indicate a mint error, damage, contamination, or in very rare circumstances an unusual planchet mistake. Although weight alone cannot determine value, it serves as one of the first diagnostic tools used by serious numismatists. The diameter of the Roosevelt dime measures 17.91 millimeters, making it one of the smallest circulating coins in the United States. Despite its compact size, the coin contains an extraordinary amount of detail that becomes even more impressive when viewed under magnification. Modern coin collectors frequently use microscopes capable of revealing tiny die polishing lines, doubled lettering, micro scratches, and subtle minting characteristics invisible to the naked eye. Another fascinating aspect is the coin's metallic composition. Since 1965, Roosevelt dimes intended for circulation have been struck using a clad composition consisting of an outer layer of copper nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Specifically, the outer layers contain 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the center consists primarily of copper. This construction gives the coin durability, corrosion resistance, and an attractive silver-colored appearance despite containing no actual silver. If you look closely at the edge of a modern dime, you may notice the copper-colored stripe sandwiched between the outer nickel layers, clearly revealing its clad construction. Many beginning collectors believe every old-looking coin must be valuable. In reality, condition often matters far more than age. A perfectly preserved modern dime can sometimes command a higher premium than an older coin that has experienced decades of heavy circulation. This is why grading plays such a critical role in determining market value. Professional grading services examine coins using internationally recognized standards that range from Poor 1 all the way to Mint State 70. A circulated 2014 D dime generally remains worth only 10 cents, but an example certified at an exceptionally high Mint State grade may attract considerable collector interest. The highest quality coins are often described as having full mint luster. This distinctive shine develops naturally during the striking process as metal flows into the dies under tremendous pressure. When a coin remains untouched after leaving the mint, its brilliant cartwheel effect reflects light beautifully across the surface. Once a coin enters circulation, however, everyday contact gradually removes this delicate finish. Collectors therefore place significant importance on preserving original luster whenever possible. As more people began searching pocket change after hearing stories about valuable modern coins, interest in the 2014 D dime steadily increased. Roll hunting became a popular hobby. Enthusiasts purchased bank rolls filled with dimes, carefully inspecting every single coin in hopes of finding overlooked treasures. Although most coins discovered are completely ordinary, the excitement comes from knowing that unexpected varieties and mint errors occasionally appear where nobody expects them. Among the most desirable discoveries are off-center strikes. During production, if the blank planchet fails to align correctly beneath the dies, part of the design may be missing while another section appears blank. Depending on the degree of misalignment and whether the date remains visible, these dramatic mint errors can command significant premiums among collectors. Every off-center strike is unique, making each example an individual piece of minting history. Another category involves double strikes. These occur when a coin receives more than one impression from the dies. Depending on the movement between strikes, portions of the design may overlap, creating spectacular visual effects that immediately distinguish the coin from ordinary examples. Genuine double strikes are carefully authenticated because altered coins occasionally appear on the market attempting to imitate these dramatic minting mistakes. Die cracks also fascinate specialists. Over time, the tremendous pressure involved in striking millions of coins gradually wears down steel dies. Tiny fractures can develop, allowing metal to flow into the cracks during striking. The resulting raised lines appear on finished coins and may vary from extremely small hairline cracks to large dramatic features crossing major design elements. While minor die cracks are relatively common, extensive examples sometimes become collectible die varieties. Die chips represent another intriguing possibility. Small fragments of the die can break away, leaving raised blobs or unusual shapes on struck coins. Depending on their size and location, these features may receive nicknames from the collecting community and become recognized varieties sought after by specialists. Clipped planchets create another exciting error type. Before striking, coin blanks are punched from long strips of metal. Occasionally, the punching process overlaps an existing hole, producing a coin blank with a curved section missing from its edge. When struck, the resulting coin retains this unusual shape while displaying a complete design across the remaining surface. Genuine clipped planchets display distinctive characteristics that experts use to distinguish them from post-mint damage. Even something as simple as a rotated die can generate collector interest. Normally, both sides of a coin align in a fixed orientation. If one die rotates during production, flipping the coin reveals an unexpected rotation between the obverse and reverse designs. While small rotations are generally considered normal manufacturing tolerances, major rotations become collectible mint errors. The remarkable precision involved in modern coin production makes these mistakes genuinely fascinating. Every day, sophisticated machinery strikes thousands of coins per minute with incredible consistency. Yet despite advanced technology, occasional mechanical issues, worn equipment, or human oversight still create unusual pieces that escape into circulation. Those rare survivors become prized discoveries years later. Collectors often discuss something called full bands when evaluating Roosevelt dimes. This designation refers to the horizontal bands across the torch on the reverse. On exceptionally well-struck coins, these bands remain fully separated with crisp detail rather than blending together. Coins receiving the full bands designation from professional grading companies frequently command higher premiums because they demonstrate superior strike quality. For modern Roosevelt dimes, this small detail can make a surprisingly large difference in collector demand. Many new collectors ask whether every coin with a small scratch or discoloration is an error. The answer is almost always no. Damage occurring after the coin leaves the mint generally reduces value rather than increasing it. Genuine mint errors occur during the manufacturing process itself, whereas scratches, dents, corrosion, cleaning marks, polishing, environmental damage, or intentional alterations happen afterward. Learning to distinguish between mint-made characteristics and post-mint damage represents one of the most valuable skills any collector can develop. The journey of a single dime begins long before it reaches your pocket. Massive coils of clad metal arrive at the United States Mint where specialized equipment punches out perfectly round blanks. These blanks undergo annealing to soften the metal, followed by cleaning and upsetting, a process that forms the raised rim around the edge. Finally, high-speed presses strike each blank with tremendous force between hardened steel dies, instantly transferring every intricate detail onto the coin's surface. After quality inspections, the finished coins are packaged and distributed through the Federal Reserve banking system before eventually entering everyday circulation. As the coin leaves the mint and begins circulating through banks, businesses, and millions of hands across the country, its story is only beginning. Every scratch, every tiny mark, and every mile it travels becomes part of its history. Some dimes will spend decades passing from one pocket to another without anyone ever giving them a second glance. Others will accidentally be placed inside coin collections, forgotten in old drawers, inherited by family members, or discovered years later by someone who decides to inspect every coin carefully. That simple possibility is one of the reasons coin collecting continues to attract people of all ages. One of the biggest misconceptions in modern numismatics is that every coin carrying a recent date must be common forever. History has repeatedly shown that today's ordinary coins can become tomorrow's collectibles depending on survival rates, collector demand, minting varieties, and certified population numbers. While billions of coins are produced, very few survive in absolutely flawless condition. Most immediately enter circulation, collecting tiny marks from counting machines, cash registers, transportation, and daily handling. This means that perfectly preserved examples become increasingly difficult to locate as time passes. The 2014 D. Roosevelt dime represents an excellent example of this principle. Although millions were struck, locating one with blazing original mint luster, razor-sharp details, no distracting contact marks, and exceptional eye appeal is significantly more challenging than most people imagine. Professional grading services carefully evaluate every surface under magnification, because even microscopic imperfections can affect the final grade. A difference of just one grading point can dramatically influence collector interest and market value. When experienced collectors examine a Roosevelt dime, they rarely focus on only one feature. Instead, they perform a complete inspection. They begin with the overall strike quality, checking whether every design element appears fully impressed. They then examine the surfaces for hairlines, abrasions, discoloration, and evidence of cleaning. The rims receive close attention because damage there may indicate heavy circulation or accidental impacts. Finally, the reverse torch is inspected for full bands, one of the most respected designations among Roosevelt dime specialists. Lighting also plays an essential role during examination. Under proper lighting conditions, original mint luster creates what collectors call the cartwheel effect. As the coin is rotated beneath a light source, brilliant bands of reflected light appear to spin across the surface. This phenomenon results from microscopic flow lines created during the striking process. Artificial polishing may produce shine, but it cannot accurately duplicate genuine mint luster. Experienced graders learn to recognize the difference immediately. Many collectors eventually invest in digital microscopes capable of magnifying coins dozens or even hundreds of times. Under this level of magnification, the smallest details become visible. Tiny die polishing lines, microscopic die chips, faint doubling, clash marks, and subtle striking characteristics can all be identified much more easily than with the naked eye. Modern technology has transformed coin collecting, allowing enthusiasts around the world to study coins with extraordinary precision. Another interesting aspect involves die life. Mint dies gradually whereas they strike hundreds of thousands of coins. Early die-state coins often display crisp details with smooth fields, while late die-state examples may reveal die fatigue, cracks, flow lines, and other characteristics that document the aging process of the dies themselves. Some specialists actually collect coins from different die states because they illustrate the complete life cycle of mint equipment. Collectors also appreciate the educational value of modern coinage. A single Roosevelt dime introduces beginners to metallurgy, engineering, American history, economics, engraving, manufacturing technology, and artistic design. Something worth only 10 cents can inspire years of research and curiosity. That educational journey is often more rewarding than any financial value attached to the coin itself. One of the most exciting activities among collectors is searching bank rolls. A typical roll contains 50 dimes, but dedicated enthusiasts may inspect thousands every week. Most searches produce ordinary circulation coins, yet every roll carries the possibility of revealing silver dimes, major mint errors, doubled dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, off-center strikes, foreign coins mistakenly mixed into circulation, or even proof coins that somehow escaped into everyday commerce. Proof coins deserve special attention because they differ significantly from regular circulation strikes. Produced using specially polished dies and carefully prepared planchets, proof coins exhibit deeply mirrored fields and frosted design elements. Although proof Roosevelt dimes are not intended for circulation, examples occasionally appear in pocket change after being spent by accident or released from old collections. Finding one during roll hunting always creates excitement. Storage is another factor that experienced collectors never overlook. Even a perfect coin can lose value if stored improperly. Humidity, fingerprints, environmental contamination, PVC residue from unsuitable holders, and excessive handling may permanently damage delicate surfaces. Collectors therefore use inert coin holders, archival quality albums, protective capsules, and controlled storage environments to preserve their collections for future generations. Authentication becomes increasingly important whenever valuable coins are involved. Unscrupulous individuals sometimes alter common coins to imitate expensive varieties. Added mint marks, artificial toning, mechanical doubling, engraved surfaces, and fabricated mint errors occasionally appear in the marketplace. Purchasing authenticated coins from reputable dealers or obtaining certification from respected grading companies greatly reduces these risks. The internet has transformed modern coin collecting in remarkable ways. Enthusiasts from different countries now share discoveries instantly through online communities, educational forums, digital auctions, and video platforms. A collector examining a newly discovered die variety can upload detailed photographs and receive opinions from experts around the world within hours. This exchange of knowledge has accelerated research and expanded interest in modern coinage beyond anything previous generations could have imagined. It is also important to understand how headlines sometimes exaggerate coin values. You may encounter articles claiming that an ordinary circulating dime is worth millions of dollars. In reality, such extraordinary numbers usually involve hypothetical situations, extremely unique mint errors, famous pedigree specimens, or simply inaccurate internet rumors. A standard 2014 de Roosevelt dime found in circulation remains worth 10 cents. Uncirculated examples may be worth more to collectors, and significant mint errors or exceptionally high-grade certified coins can sell for substantially higher amounts. However, claims of values reaching $199 million should always be treated with extreme skepticism unless supported by verified auction records and professional authentication. That does not mean searching your change is pointless. Quite the opposite. Many valuable discoveries have been made by ordinary people simply paying attention to the coins passing through their hands every day. Rare varieties, transitional errors, wrong planchet strikes, and exceptional condition rarities have all been found outside traditional collections. Patience, education, and careful observation remain the collector's greatest tools. Imagine receiving a handful of change after buying a cup of coffee. Most people immediately place the coins into a pocket without looking. A collector, however, may spend a few extra seconds checking dates, mint marks, overall condition, and unusual characteristics. Those few seconds represent the difference between overlooking a fascinating collectible and recognizing something special. The Roosevelt dime continues to circulate as one of America's most recognizable coins, connecting generations through a shared piece of everyday history. Children receive them as allowance, businesses use them for transactions, banks package them into rolls, and collectors preserve the finest examples for future study. Every coin carries a story that extends far beyond its monetary denomination. Perhaps the greatest lesson the 2014 D. Roosevelt dime teaches is that value comes in many forms. Financial value is only one part of the picture. Historical significance, artistic craftsmanship, educational importance, engineering precision, and the excitement of discovery all contribute to the coin's lasting appeal. Even an ordinary dime can inspire curiosity, encourage learning, and introduce someone to the fascinating world of numismatics. So the next time you receive change, don't rush to spend it. Take a closer look at every coin. Examine the date. Find the mint mark. Study the design. Check the weight if something seems unusual. Look for off-center strikes, doubled lettering, clipped planchets, die cracks, rotated dies, or exceptional preservation. Most likely you'll discover an ordinary 10-cent coin, but every collector knows that remarkable finds begin with ordinary moments. And that is exactly what makes coin collecting one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. The thrill does not come from knowing that every coin is valuable. The thrill comes from never knowing which coin might surprise you. Every pocket, every cash register, every bank roll, and every forgotten jar of change holds another opportunity to uncover a small piece of American history. Thank you for watching this complete exploration of the 2014 D. Roosevelt dime. If you enjoyed learning about its history, design, specifications, minting process, collector demand, and the truth behind its potential value, be sure to keep learning, keep searching, and most importantly, never underestimate the stories hidden inside the coins you use every single day. Sometimes the smallest coin carries the biggest history, and the next remarkable discovery could already be waiting in your pocket. Until next time, happy collecting, stay curious, and may your next handful of change contain an unforgettable treasure.